All right, so the new Pokemon Pocket Set Mega Rising is coming out in a couple days, and in today's video, I wanted to predict the new meta cards and what cards are going to be up on top and which ones are going to be down below on bottom. Now, of course, I have no idea, but you never know. Maybe I'm tapping into the whole Xatumi future site. I might be right, I might be wrong, but this is honestly kind of fun. I love doing this for a couple sets, and sometimes I'm like spot on, and they're like, how did he know? And most of the time, I'm wrong. Now, with that being said, we have 5 tiers. We have, S, A, B, C, D tier, but it's going to be going more like this. Meta all season for S tier. These are the cards that I think are just going to be, these are your Greninjas, your Suicunes, right? Maybe not as strong as them, but like that's what I foresee. Like they're going to be, or Corios, right? They're going to be meta all season. The ones that can be meta are like, I guess more so Charizard, Stokesard, maybe a Flareon EX. Well, I guess Flareon's a bit more meta than Charizard. Buzzwole EX, like they can be good, but they're right under the ones that are being played all the time. And then the next tier, B tier, is not playable by week 2. Now, what do I mean by that? It's a new set. Everyone's excited. We're going to play all the cards we can, even if they're not that good, right? Like that's what we do here on the channel. I'm a content creator. I'm trying to be spicy. I'll cook decks. I might even say this is amazing for this video and this match, but like, let's be honest, after a couple weeks, it's pretty not playable when you compare it to like the top metas and then the other sub meta decks. And that's this tier right here. The ones that everyone's going to play the first couple weeks, but then they're probably just going to fall off after a couple weeks. I think this one would actually be very easy to follow and tell me if I was right or wrong after a couple weeks if nobody plays those. Next is C. These are just going to be very niche. Like, I don't think they're going to be crazy good. I don't think they're going to be horrible. I just think they're going to be niche. Like you play them in very, very specific decks. And if you do, it could be awesome, or they could not do anything. And then finally, D is filler. I just feel like these are cards that they threw into the trailer just to be like, hey, have at it. This is what we're giving you. And yeah, you already know what cards those are. So without further ado, let's hop right into it with the first one, Aegislash. And I'm going to put Aegislash in niche. I feel like that's pretty obvious, right? The thing about Aegislash is I think it affects itself, if I'm not mistaken. So like, even if you don't play this with another deck and like say you draw 2 Aegislashes, you can just run that and guarantee for 3 energy you hit for 100 or maybe up to 130. But I do think I might make another video like once Aegislash comes out. I think this is one of those cards where you can just play this in so many decks. I think this is more like Superior, right? With Jungle Totem, it's a stage 2 that does so much for its specific archetype. However, Aegislash says Psychic and Steel, Metal. I'm sorry, it's Metal. It's not Steel in this game. I don't know why it's not. I'm going off on a tangent. Anyway, I think Aegislash is like Superior, and I would put Superior in a very niche category. Like it can win some tournaments, but by itself, it's really not going to do much. So it really depends on how you build it. And I do think Aegislash is pretty good. I don't want you guys to think like C is bad, right? I'm doing my best to categorize them in order of importance, right? I think they're all going to be fun. They're all going to be fun. Now, let me just say that. But I just want to see how close I can get in the order of importance, right? Next card, word filler, right? Let's go through this filler. Okay, Flame Patch. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to put it in can be meta. This is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. It all depends on how strong water is going to be, right? If water is still going to be very strong, then players aren't going to really be playing fire types. It just doesn't make sense. However, even if water is strong, you can use this with Crimson Storm Charizard and still knock out things like Gyarados, your Greninjas, Suicune. So you know what? Just by talking that out, I do think this is going to be meta all season because of another card I think is going to be meta all season, and because of the other card that's going to be meta all season, I think we might actually see a reduction in water types, but I could be wrong. All right, let's keep going. Oh, the fillers are so easy. Filler, beautiful filler. All right, Hydreigon. I was thinking about not playable week 2. However, I do think it's a niche, very niche. Like you only play this in darkness decks. Well, actually, hold on. Let me take that back. You don't actually have to play this only in darkness decks. Across 2 turns, you can give yourself 4 darkness energy and take 60 damage, even if you're running something like a lightning deck, which I don't know, that could be kind of spicy, right? Because the way it's worded, guys, actually, for those of you wondering, I'll just pull it up real quick. It says here, once during your turn, you may take 2 darkness energy from your energy zone and attach it to this Pokemon. That's essentially Magneton, but we all know we don't have to play Magneton in only a lightning type deck. So maybe you don't have to play this Pokemon in only a darkness deck. However, you do need 3 darkness energy for this attack. I don't know. I'm just saying I'm going to keep it in niche. It's not a filler. I don't think it's not going to be playable after week 2. I think you can play. I think it's going to be very specifically niche. Let's keep moving. Jellicent, I don't know the top part of this card, but I'm assuming it's going to be very niche with its supporter card, right? Like, that's pretty obvious, right? See, I'm sure it'll be good. Next up is Jirachi. Bold statement here. I have no idea what the rest of the set is. However, with the introduction of babies, what if they give us more babies? What if they give us a baby that's just way too OP, right? What if there's a baby that interacts with mega Pokemon? Well, I don't know. There's a whole lot of maybes there, but I do like the fact that Jirachi just one-shots babies. It just hates babies. It's literally, hold on, let's pull this up. It's literally meant to just deal 30 damage to any of your opponent's Pokemon being babies. Babies just get one shot. Even Magikarps, honestly, this could just be a Magikarp counter, which goes back to the whole, like, maybe Mega Gyarados won't actually be good, which will, again, go back into my tier list. So let's get back to the tier list. Lilligant, niche. Honestly, most of these are going to be niche. I think Lysia is an interesting card because this finds 2 basic Pokemon with 50 HP, and it can be meta. It can be meta. But again, it really significantly depends on how you're building your deck. So I'm gonna put it this way, because we've only seen a few cards, right? We've seen cards like Swablu, which I'm gonna put in filler. We've seen Magikarp, which I'm also gonna put in filler. We've seen these cards, and we can assume Torchic is also maybe a Pokemon that has less than 50 HP. And the reason I'm saying it can be meta is if every single Mega Pokemon that's a stage 1 and stage 2 in Mega Rising, the set, if they all have a basic Pokemon like that has 50 HP, maybe like a Pidgey from the previous sets. This Pidgey is 60 HP, so we could just throw this guy again in filler. If they're all 50 HP or less, then I really do think this is going to be a meta card. Can be meta, especially if you're running a Mega Pokemon. However, not knowing the rest of the cards, I'm going to put it at the top of niche. But I just want you guys to know that's very interchangeable right there. I think it could be if every single Mega Pokemon that evolves has a basic that's 50 HP. Like, that is astounding right there. Next up is May, and I'm gonna make another video on this because a lot of people are like, I don't understand how this works, and I could try to explain it a bit, at least the way I understand it. So first, let's read the card. Put 2 random Pokemon from your deck into your hand for each Pokemon you put into your hand this way. Choose a Pokemon to shuffle from your hand into your deck. So if you use May and you have no Pokemon in your hand, you find 2 Pokemon, but guess what? You send them back into your deck. So you're kind of just trolling yourself. And now you're probably thinking like, what the heck? That's horrible. No, stop it. Stop it. Let me continue. This is all about sequencing. This is a card that just it helps you better understand sequencing. Like you guys know, most of the time you use Pokeballs and then you research. Sometimes you use research first, especially if you're searching for basic Pokemon and you already have Pokeballs in your hand. So with a card like this, I think you still run your double Pokemon Professor Researchers. Yeah, that's what they're called. I think your 2 Pokeballs and maybe 1 May. And the reason I say that, maybe 2, I don't know, it depends. This is a very strong card in stage 1, stage 2 decks. This just helps you find your evolutions so much faster. 2 caveats here. I guess we can go back here. 2 caveats. You only play it when your Pokemon can even evolve, like within stage 1, or if you have the rare candy in your hand. And 2, personally, I think this is one of those cards where you use Pokeball, maybe even double Pokeball, right? And then you use May, because now you've guaranteed 2 basic Pokemons in your hand, and then you're finding 2 more evolutionary Pokemon from your deck. So it's all about sequencing. Before you use May, I think you have to use Pokeball. Now, I know a bunch of you are probably like, yeah, it just seems like common sense, but I could tell you a lot of people probably did not see that connection. So I'm just trying to help a ton of people. I think May can be used and very beneficial for evolutionary decks, but you need to use Pokeball first and then use this so that way you can send the other cards back, especially when you're looking for those evolutions. And with that being said, this is going to be meta all season long, because I think Ampharos, I'm going to throw this guy up here. Right. And I don't know if a lot of other content creators or players or like top players or whatever are saying this. I could be wrong. I'm the guy who said Gyarados stinks and turned out Gyarados was like the best EX Pokemon of Mythical Islands expansion. Right. So like I can be wrong. That's fine. Not a problem. That's not why I do this. I don't do this to be right. I just do this to share my opinion, right? But I think Mega Ampharos is going to be crazy. And in fact, there's a Spanish content creator, Daniel Mini. Let me see. Yeah, they're the only content creator that I've seen has saying Mega Ampharos EX is going to be good. And it was, I believe, in a Spanish video. So it was translated by like, YouTube's dub. So I don't actually know if the translation was correct. But I'll tell you why I think this is going to be crazy. 100 damage to the opponent's active. It's not that much, you're right. However, we have access to Pichu. We can ramp so fast. We get online by turn 2 if you're going second. And then dealing damage to your opponent's bench is crazy. You can win the game by turn 2. 100 to the active, 20 and 40 on something on the bench, 100 on the active again, and then 60 maybe all in one Pokemon. It's all random, so you don't know. But like 160 damage on the board is an insane stat line. But that's not all, guys. This is a lightning Pokemon, which means you can throw in an Oricorio. Yeah, the Pokemon that just walls every EX, every Mega Pokemon. So I don't know, man. You guys can say other Mega Pokemon are going to be top tier, but out of the 6 Mega Pokemon we've seen, like I could be wrong, like assuming there's 9 more Mega Pokemon, maybe there's like 1 or 2 that make all these 6 look very bad in comparison. But as of right now, with the inclusion of Pichu, ramp cards like Zero Aura, Elemental Switch, Oricorio access, it just Mega Ampharos EX just feels like the clear winner, and I really wanted to gatekeep that so I can just day 1 climb to master with a Mega Ampharos. But I'm sharing my opinion with you guys. I could be wrong. Who knows? I really don't think I am. I really don't think I am here. All right, moving on to Mega Absol, our first B tier. I don't think this is going to be playable after week 2. A lot of people are like, it's going to be so good. I don't think so. I'm going to throw in Mega Pinsir. And the reason I say this is if you're going to be a basic Mega Pokemon, that you better be good. You better be so good. You better be fast. You better be aggressive. You better do something that doesn't make you a hindrance and more of a like valuable asset to the game. Because like if you just take damage and they have a Cyrus later on that you can't even get rid of with your Mega Absol or whatever, they'll just bring you back in and win the game. Because if you lose a Mega Pokemon, that's 3 prize points, game's over, clock it, go to the next one, right? So as of right now, like I still think people are going to play them. They're going to have fun. I'm going to play them. I'm going to have fun. That's not what I'm saying, right? I'm just saying I just don't think this is going to be like a deck where people are like trying to win tournaments or climb to the highest levels of master a rank with after a few weeks of the new season. And that's exactly what I think. This next thing, I guess it shouldn't be here. Oops. Let's go here. Filler. We can do, well, let me get rid of all the fillers first. Oh, this is just, I'll throw this. Never mind. I'll put it here. All right. We're good. We have Citrus Berry. That's niche all the way down here. Mega Altaria. I'm going to say meta all season. And it really depends on like what Aegislash can do and how aggressive. Like if Aegislash starts becoming like super meta and you see this guy everywhere, then I think this guy drops a bit. But as of right now, I'll put him right here. I think Blaziken can be right here. You know what? Actually, no. I think this is a better. Yeah, I think I'm good with this. I think this makes sense. Blaziken's good. Super aggressive. It's a stage 2. 140 damage is insane. It synergizes with a flame patch. It synergizes with a lot of things. I just don't think it's as strong as Mega Ampharos because of what Mega Ampharos currently has in the entire game. The access to all the cards I already talked about. But I still think it's good, right? It's very good. And then Mega Altaria with potentially Aegislash on your team, right? And maybe even using something like Lysia, you can get up to your damage of, what is it, 130 or potentially even 160 very, very fast. And then finally, Mega Gyarados. I'm so scared because the last time, I already told you guys in this video, I said Gyarados EX was so bad. It sucks, 4 energy, yada, yada, yada. It was so good. It was so incredibly good. And I think this really just depends on how fast can you ramp this guy, right? Like the Magikarp for this is pretty insane because let me show you guys. It's a Pokemon that needs 3 energy to an attack. It does have 30 HP. So if every deck is running a Jirachi, then you'll never have time to get this Pokemon online. And that's what I'm scared of, right? I'm scared of Mega Gyarados actually being super oppressive because of this attack right here that says Waterfall Evolution. If you're fast enough, I think by turn 2, you can use this going second with a Mantike generating energy to your Magikarp, bring it to the active spot, use Waterfall Evolution, and then instantly evolve into your Mega Gyarados, which you could probably only run 1 in your deck if you really want to, right? And it's just very strong for you to get that going. However, if this guy is here, that's why I put this Jirachi here. I think Jirachi just becomes like a staple in every single Psychic deck, which then brings this Mega Pokemon up higher. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to be wrong about the Gyarados again. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put Gyarados right there, but I could be wrong. There you guys have it. Hopefully it's not too long of a video. I really just wanted to do this. It's going to be fun. I'm trying to figure out ways to talk about these cards, especially before Mega Rising comes out. As you guys know, I'm super excited. I'm not going to cover any of the leaks or spoilers if we do get them. I want to be pleasanttly surprised with you guys. So with that, let me know in the comments. What do you think? Do you think I'm going to be spot on? Do you think I'm neglecting some of these cards? Like, oh, why didn't you say this about this card? You're missing this point. Let me know in the comments. You guys bring up some valuable stuff here. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hype, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.